Imagine you are taking a training course to become a baker. However, after the training, you realize that the skills you were taught are insufficient to get a job, and that everyone is hiring people with more experience. You wasted not only your time, but also your money on a training course that does not lead you anywhere. Employment Fund, a skills development project implemented by Helvetas Swiss into cooperation in partnership with the government of Nepal, understands that skills training needs to be relevant to market needs and directly linked to employment. But finding work is difficult in Nepal, a beautiful landlocked country in the Himalayas. 25% of the population earns less than $1.25 a day, and more than 60% of the population lives from farming. This difficult situation leads an estimated 1,500 people to leave Nepal in search of better employment and income opportunities every day. Employment Fund pays attention to this problem. It applies a funding approach called results-based funding, where the payment is made only after the specified outcomes and agreed objectives, namely, the gainful employment of the graduates are achieved. In results-based financing, it is very important to choose training providers that are reliable. Hence, Employment Fund joins hands only with long-standing and professional companies that can deliver the results. It selects its training and employment service providers through an annual competitive procurement process. But who checks whether the results are achieved? Meet Lakshmi. She is a dedicated and motivated monitoring officer at the Employment Fund Secretariat. She, along with her colleagues, assists the training providers to make sure that the underprivileged youth find decent and gainful employment. To make sure that the training environment complies with Employment Fund's predefined quality standards and that the quality of the training is maintained, Lakshmi and her colleagues carry out visits to the training providers. There, they meet the trainees to discover if they are learning according to the market-oriented curricula. Employment Fund pays for the training provider services based on their achievement of the agreed results and in 3 installments. The first milestone is for trainees to pass the National Skills Test after the training. In order to make sure they pass the test, the quality of the training needs to be assured. The first installment of 40% of the total price is paid to the training providers for those graduates who sit for the National Skills Test. 3 months after the training completion, Lakshmi and her colleagues visit the graduates to see how they're doing and whether they've found a job. Based on their findings, the training providers are paid 25% of the total amount for every graduate who has found a job and who has been continuously working after the training. But the monitoring team's job is not finished. In order to ensure that the graduates are decently rewarded for their labor, Lakshmi visits them again after 6 months from their training. This time, she wants to know how much the graduates have earned since the completion of their training. Lakshmi looks if the graduates are gainfully employed. That means she checks if they are earning above a predefined threshold over the poverty line. If the result is achieved, the training providers will be paid 35% of the total amount for every gainfully employed graduate. This is how results-based financing works. Employment Fund pays for the training and employment services mainly by measuring the employment status and income of the graduate. The training providers will get their second and third installment, or 60% of the total amount, only if graduates are gainfully employed. In addition, Employment Fund makes sure that the disadvantaged and women are included in the training. To ensure their participation, training providers receive a financial bonus if women and disadvantaged people are found gainfully employed. Employment Fund provides skills training to more than 15,000 young people per year. More than half of these are women, and 80% come from disadvantaged groups. Out of these, more than 90% have been employed after training, and 70% were gainfully employed. Results-based financing ensures that the training providers are not only providing skills training, but are also focusing on the gainful employment of their graduates. Combined with a sound monitoring system and incentives for inclusion, results-based financing can contribute significantly to enhance the livelihoods of youth in Nepal and elsewhere. Hence, the funds provided by the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, STC, UK aid from the Department of International Development, DFID, and the World Bank are invested not only in providing skills to poor and disadvantaged youth, but in securing their future with gainful employment.